Welcome Pisces to your Taurus super new moon 1 month forecast for the ascendant, the sun or the moon across the 16th, 17th of May, depending on location. The Taurus super new moon, where she's in a exaltation, provides a backdrop energy for the following month. Each lunation has its own unique identity. We can talk about them generally, but I'm going to share on screen the event chart for this one, but from a purely Pisces viewpoint. At the end of the video, you'll have a clearer understanding of what the next 4 weeks can hold in terms of your energy, work, relationships, and finances. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive. But please also click or tap the bell notification symbol. The sign of Taurus is very much about practicalities. It's an earth sign. It likes things to come out in a way that has some kind of tangible benefit. It's also ruled by Venus, which can be very, very sensual, but also gives us an appreciation of the good things in life. Taurus is also about our sense of values, our self-worth, and our approach to everyday money. But Taurus for you, Pisces, reflects the third house, which is much more to do with quick, fast communications and thinking. So on the screen is your event chart, and there's the dynamic duo at 25 degrees and 57, which is in the third 10-degree slot of the sign of Taurus, the decan, which is subruled by the somber Saturn. So over the next month, if you're thinking about the third house or talking about discussing ideas or anything that's important to you, chances are you could just be a little bit more on the cautious side. But Mercury, the planet of communication, is very close to the sun, the drive, and the moon, the feeling. The important thing with the moon and Mercury together is not to conflate our emotion with our thoughts. But because this is a third house new moon for you personally, I think actually your thinking can be very well structured, particularly because of Mercury's conjunction. And Mercury in the third house is more reflective of its rulership of Gemini. So it's very agile, nimble, and get its head around ideas very quickly. But the Taurus energy wants to know what the value is of those ideas. But Jupiter, your traditional ruler, is forging a gorgeous sextile to the moon and the sun, which means that the conversations you have, the third house, even though they could be earthy and practical, there is the potential for fortune with Jupiter in that fifth house. The fifth house can be about romance, but it can also be about speculation. So if you're talking to someone you like, this is a good set of influences showing up. What about the ruler of the sign of Taurus? What's she doing? Venus. Well, Venus for you is coming towards the end of a very bubbly journey through the sign of Gemini, where she's very vivacious, but may have seen you busy recently redecorating, perhaps getting some new soft furnishings or doing something around your home in terms of playing host. But Venus forges a delicious semi-sextile to these three, but also a wonderful sextile to Mars, the planet of desire. And guess what? He's in the second house, which is reflective of Taurus. So that Mars-Venus sextile is very much about going for what you want, being able to use your personality, power, and charm to good effect, but you could be very persuasive in an earthy way with this combination here. So I think as new moons go, this is about as good as it can get. And therefore, whatever you're thinking about, whoever you're talking to, whether you are considering a new mode of transport, the third house, upgrading your technology, if you have your own channel, you want to reach more people, the passion of Mars and that uh, diplomacy of Venus, but also the message that comes from Taurus, which has some kind of tangible benefit to people, can really land. I'm going to uh, summarize the 4 areas of energy, work, relationships, and finances next. But just to say, you can now get 3 personal horoscopes for the price of one. I've slashed the price. The one you pay for is your life roadmap, which helps us to understand the patterns that play out in our lives so far, get a more intimate understanding of those influences and work with them better future forwards. 3, your 12 months transit forecast and your draconic soul karmic analysis. I'm really passionate about natal astrology. I feel that it helps to pour so much light into the journey we go through. Please take advantage of it if you wish. Now, if you've yet to watch your May monthly forecast, Pisces, that's on the screen, yet to watch your Uranus solar return in Gemini for the first time in 78 years, please check that out. Hasn't happened since 1948. That's incredible, isn't it? And also, if you'd like to download the free factoid on the supermoon, that's underneath this video too. If you'd like to work with me directly, I work with people the world over. Please see my testimonials below. And if you've yet to sign up for your free daily written horoscope via your device each morning for your early day celestial pit stop, please take advantage of that too. So when it comes to your work, I think your ability to share ideas in a very effective way, so they're well balanced between how you feel, the thrust of the idea, but the nimbleness of the delivery is really amplified on this event. Also, the confidence that you can apply to this is very strong with Jupiter's help. If you're wanting to improve your financial situation, Mars alongside Chiron is pushing you really to perhaps work on what your motive may be around that, because Chiron could be a little bit of a wound about your value. The sign of Taurus, remember, is about value, also our personal value. That may be something you want to think of, but Mars's conjunction to Chiron is pushing you perhaps to confront any inhibitions you may have. But if you are wanting to be more on the front foot around resources, I think you can be. If you're looking at your energetic situation, Saturn in the sign of Aries in the second house is saying be very cautious about what you're drinking and eating, because the more it can be plain and simple, home cooked, very Tauran in a way, the better. Sugars won't be so good at this time. Professionally, also, you do have the path of fortune right at the top of the chart on that 10th house. I really like that for you. But in terms of neat romance, do you know, if there is someone that you're involved with already, sometimes the sheer routine of life means that we don't give ties enough space to breathe. And I think because Jupiter can be about old-fashioned romance, why don't you go and watch a movie, go for a drive in nature, do something a bit more spontaneously together? It can revive things. But if there is someone you're really drawn to at the present time, I feel that you could find yourself just being a little bit more desirous to get beyond any blockage you may have felt about perhaps revealing or exposing yourself a little bit, because obviously we can't always be guaranteed we're going to get a favourable outcome, but if we don't make the move, we'll never know. Wishing you all the best, Pisces. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care and see you again soon.